call this meeting to order of the Tourist Development Council. Today is January 14th, 2026, and it is 9:01. Who would like to do the invocation? Anyone? Anyone? All right. If you would please rise for the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance, and if you could lead us in the pledge afterwards.
Thank you. Heavenly Father, it's a new year and we're gathered together. We ask that you bless our work throughout the year, that it helps our community to stay wonderful and at the same time grow more prosperous through better use of our assets that you have given us, especially the outdoors and the beauty of our county. We ask that you continue the tradition of cooperation on this board and improve all the cooperation between our government agencies so we can be efficient. And at the same time, can we have some fun while we're doing it? Amen.
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 I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Roll call, please.
All right, so present we have Mike Ingalls, Commissioner Holly Davis, Councilmember Chris Bensing, Councilmember Tom Craig. We have Lecanto Jacobs, we have Michael Manning, and Max Schulman. Absent is Dr. Parash Desai.
Thank you. And looking for a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Schulman, a second by Lecanto Jacobs. Is there any board discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Looking for approval of minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Michael Mankey for the motion and Max Schulman for the second. Is there any public comment? Any board discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Okay, open to the public. And by the way, I'm going to go first. I am resisted being a princess for a very long time. Last time I was in a board meeting in here, I was in agony in these chairs with my back. I know this chair is comfortable because I can lean back and straighten my back, so sorry. Would anyone like to speak? Okay, seeing none, we'll close open to the public. D1. Thank you, all of us. If it weren't wretchedly, wretchedly bad, I would not have asked for that.
Do I have to put, oh, it's already on, okay. Hello, my name is Katrina Letourneau, and today I am here on behalf of the Citrus County Fair Association. I serve on the board, and this year I'm helping with their advertising and marketing, and we are here to apply for your special event marketing grant. Behind me is also Mr. Artie McIntyre. He is our fair board manager, and he'll be open for any questions at the end that you guys might have. So thank you for having us here today. I'm going to try to keep it short and to the point. The white button? Yes. Okay. Ooh. Okay, first we're going to do a little bit of history behind the fair and what our mission is there. The fair is an organization of volunteers united to showcase the talent of our county. We provide scholarship opportunities, and we also provide the community with agricultural, educational, and cultural pursuits. It is part of our mission to add to the quality of life for our residents. And the 2026 fair will be our 78th fair. So we're very proud of that. For 2026, our event dates go from March 23rd to the 29th. And we'll also have a show after the fair in May for another species. You can see our past attendance numbers. 2024 has a little dip in it because unfortunately we were rained out. So the weather does affect our numbers some years. Moving along. In regards to room blocking, the Central Motel in Inverness is where the fair has maintained a relationship. We do block on average 25 rooms each year. That does get a little higher. It depends on the vendors and the entertainers, and if they bring their own campers to the fairgrounds or if they need somewhere to stay. So on average, we always block at least 25 rooms for 7 nights, which equates to 175 total hotel stays. And in case you don't know, the Central Motel is very close proximity to the fair, which is why we choose to go there. Okay, the educational programs that we offer. Many people think of the fair and they just think of animals and livestock, but there are so many other things that the fair has to offer for our children. Livestock being one of them. We have 7 different species shown there, and we have programs for both 4-H and FFA children. Not just selling your animal, which is considered a market animal project. We also have projects where they get to show their animal and also where the animal itself gets judged. We have competitive exhibits, which is a showcase of arts. That's growing each year. We're really working with the Lecanto High School and their arts program. So last year we got several amazing entries, like the one that you see that was made. That was a hand painting done by, I believe she was a senior. And then also we offer horticulture projects, and those are put on display. So those are the different educational programs that we have. As far as the competitive exhibits go, though, anything that you can imagine that's homemade, we have a spot for. So if you're into woodworking, quilting, sewing, baking, literally anything that you can dream of that's handmade, we showcase. Here is an example of our midway that's open for 7 days. And the benefits to our community. That's one of our 4-H'ers there showing her steer last year. We really boost community pride, economic impact, showcase our county's agricultural heritage. That's a big thing. We have a whole entire section for our community's agricultural history. We do provide educational opportunities to people who wouldn't normally be exposed to agriculture. And of course, our main goal is to develop future leaders. And of course, there's always fun. We always want the kids and families to have fun. Oh, this is a little bit wonky on the slide, I'm sorry. So to get into our budget, the total budget that we have is $17,530. Would you guys like a printed copy, or is it okay if I just walk through it? I have a printed copy that's easier to see than what's on the, okay. So in that advertising budget, that includes printed materials, radio ads, videography, and then social media promotion. And you can see those subtotals there. The areas that we target, excluding Citrus County, are the surrounding counties. To break it down a little bit further, we have pre-fair ads. Then we also have digital ads. We have ads done through the Chronicle and then also Discover Citrus. Ads done through the Chronicle. I know we tend to just say Citrus County Chronicle, but they print in other counties too. So a lot of that printing total that you see is actually for out-of-county printing. I don't have the specific counties, but they are part of these 5 counties here that I just listed. And then we also have our radio advertising that we start about 6 weeks out from the fair, and then it ramps up as we get closer. And then this year we'll have some videography done, and also we'll be targeting social media. Oh, look at those cute boys. This year, our fair is Stars, Stripes, and Fair Delights, and that is to showcase our country's 250th anniversary. So we'll be promoting a lot of patriotism there at the fair. And finally, to wrap it up, if you have any further questions after this meeting, this is the contact information for Mr. Artie, our Fair Board Manager. And with that, if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Anyone have any questions? Thank you.
Good? Thank you.
And hi, Artie. Now I can see you.
Nice to see you again.
Okay. Need a motion?
Yep.
Anyone?
I think this is a wonderful tradition, and we should be doing all we can to support it. And I move that we vote $5,000 for the grant.
Second.
All right. Excellent. Motion by Max, a second by Chris. Any further board discussion? I'm 100% in favor of it. I think it's anything we could do to support the fair is brilliant. So, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Our pleasure. Absolutely. Jerry, I think you may be up.
Well, he's standing up anyway. So.
Standing up. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for having me today. My name is Jerry Mulligan, and today I'm representing the Friends of the National Wildlife Refuge at Three Sisters. Our goal this morning and our goal at the refuge is to expand the experience of enjoying Citrus County while visiting the National Wildlife Refuge. And what I'm here today to do is to ask you to be the partners with the Wildlife Refuge in expanding some of the capital needs that we have at the facility. To remind you, Three Sisters Springs, many years ago, back 2008, 2009, was scheduled to become a nice big condominium project. And the community came together and said that was a really bad idea, and that what needed to happen is we needed to preserve this. Thousands of people came together, thousands of Citrus County residents came together, donated money, and so did Citrus County. The city of Crystal River, the city of Inverness actually made contributions. The state of Florida, the Southwest Florida Water Management District all came together and contributed funds to preserve this property. We raised $13.5 million at the time. The property now is officially owned by the city of Crystal River and the Southwest Florida Water Management District through a fee title program. But it is operated by the U.S. National Wildlife Service, and it has become one of the most popular places in the refuge in the country. In 2010, a management plan was developed, and all parties concerned participated in that, and they came up with an agreement on what improvements would be needed over the years, and many of those improvements have been completed, including a 6 acre. One of the coolest things is this six acre wetland treatment area where the drainage and the runoff from US 19 and the parking lots now runs through Three Sisters Springs and gets cleaned through the Swift Mud investment in this wetland project, and it really makes a difference. The water no longer runs directly into Kings Bay. One of the things that the tourists love is a 1,500-foot boardwalk has been built around Three Sisters, and 1.7 miles of trails throughout the property has also been constructed. One of the neatest things that I think happened was that just this last year, part of the boardwalk got destroyed and needed to be replaced. And the federal government, being the federal government, was going to make that improvement, but it takes them a while to get anything done. So their suggestion was, let's close down Three Sisters for 6 months to a year so we can make these improvements, and then we'll let the tourists come back in. The community heard about that and said that's not going to happen. And a bunch of volunteers got together. They were the boat builders from Crystal River. They got together and they actually volunteered their time and went out and rebuilt the damaged section of the boardwalk so that Three Sisters could continue to operate. It never did close, and very important for the for the future of Crystal River tourism. The improvements that we're asking you to help us fund today, and what we're asking is for you to contribute $80,000 to a $400,000 project that we have planned. And it includes the construction of 2 viewing platforms an observation platform, and a small fishing pier on Lake Crystal. These improvements are part of the original plan going back to 2010. It was revised and updated in 2019 by all the parties concerned. And what these will do, it will further enhance the natural resources on site, and it will help the visitor experience. If many folks who come to Three Sisters now, they come in different ways, but we get about 80,000 to 100,000 people will come through the front gates. We have a bus service, as you know, that runs through Crystal River and brings the tourists in. But many of those tourists don't get a great view of the manatee, especially at places like Magnolia Springs. So we're building these viewing platforms so that they can climb up and see the manatee from a specific height. Same thing where the Swift Mud water purification project was put in. That has become like an incredible natural setting filled with birds and all sorts of wildlife. But it's very hard to experience because you're just looking out on a wetlands. By raising it up a little bit, we're gonna be able to improve that experience that the visitors have. Slide 4. Specifically, this is a partnership. We're not asking TDC to totally fund this. As I mentioned, it's a $400,000 project. We have already received $200,000 from the U.S. National Wildlife Refuge Service. The Friends of the Crystal River National Wildlife Refuge, the group I represent today, we've contributed $25,000. The city of Crystal River has contributed $25,000. Pete's Pier, one of the key businesses on Kings Bay, donated $5,000. We had another hotel management company donate $1,000. EcoPile is one of the companies out of Homosassa that is actually going to help us build these things. They were so moved by it that they were willing to donate a lot of the supplies that we need to build these things. And that's it's hard to figure out an exact cost to what they are going to contribute until we get all the specifics laid out. But it's significant. It's $20,000-$30,000 worth of materials that they are going to contribute. And today we're here asking TDC to join us and contribute another $80,000 to this project. I will share with you that Swift Mud is also on our list, and we have made tentative requests for Swift Mud to participate. They have funded a lot of projects already at Three Sisters, if you're not aware. They did the shoreline restoration project, and they kicked a lot of money in on that. I will point out, too, that as the detailed application before you shows that your TDC has contributed along the way. You have helped make this as popular as it is in Citrus County. And one of the unique parts about Three Sisters Springs is it is an urban national wildlife refuge. Most wildlife refuges are out, in the boonies. This is right in the middle of a city, and there were some criticism in the beginning that they didn't think it would be that popular. It is now one of the most popular national wildlife refuges in the nation, and we should feel really good about that. But at the same time, we have to be able to continue to make improvements and make it accessible to all of our citizens. So, we get visitors from all over the place. This is a group from University of North Florida. They are all environmental science students who came and spent 3 or 4 days at Three Sisters just studying what was happening there. They're all in their graduate program at UNF. But we get crazy groups from all over the place that come and visit us all the time. Those of you who go to Three Sisters, and I know a number of you do, one of the really fun things is walking around and listening to all the languages being spoken. It's, there are times when I feel like the foreigner when I'm out there because there are so many international visitors that come to this community. So, Three Sisters is the gemstone of the tourism experience in Citrus County. We have, hard to believe, 600,000 people come and visit Three Sisters Springs in any given year. Now, 80,000 to 100,000 come through the front gate. But the other experiences, we have all sorts of kayak companies and tour companies that are built by, they've built their franchises by bringing tourists to Three Sisters via the waterways. And then the other thing that it's hard to count it, but we have volunteers all the time that are paying attention to this. It's just the people that come in their own boats and their canoes. They're not part of a tourism program. They're just tourists that have been attracted to our community, and everybody that comes here wants to see Three Sisters Springs. So today we ask you to work with us and continue to develop this and help make these improvements. Can I answer any questions that
I was
anybody
lucky
might
enough
have?
to grow up swimming in there all by myself.
I remember the day.
I was there Saturday.
Were you? Yeah.
Yeah, I go all the time. People come to town, and where do you take them?
Right.
They want to say, "Where's a manatee?"
Yep.
You can be guaranteed to see one there.
I do have a. Did you have a question?
Question, Jerry, I think these projects, the Overlooked and the Fishing Pier, are the last two items on the commitment by the refuge to fulfill the management agreement. Is that
Right.
true?
That is true. Yep.
So they had a laundry list of what the refuge needed to do to satisfy that agreement with the state and with Swift Mud in the city. And these are the last two items to be checked off on that list.
The 400,000, was that the cash portion aside from materials?
No, the 400,000 would include the materials also, and that is why you'll see where, we have under $300,000 pledged so far. But if we get TDC approves this, we will still continue to fundraise and to reach that 400,000.
And I heard you mention SwiftMed, but I did not absorb whether you said they would or would not possibly help fund this.
We're in the preliminary stages. We've made application to them, and I've spoken with the leaders. They're not, got to be upfront with you though. They're not as supportive of tourism generating efforts as they are of capital improvements that protect the environment. They're more about shoreline restoration than they are. They don't really care if anybody sees it. They're more interested in the net result to the environment, and that's important too. We have other funding sources, and we have other groups and organizations that we will make this a public effort once we're done going through the process of getting government agencies and different friends groups to contribute.
And will the platforms be ADA?
Yes, they will. Yeah, that's very important. And again, when you deal with the federal government, you know that their standards are pretty high.
Awesome.
Not a question, but a comment. I think it's really important that we support not just this program, but programs like it. We were lucky enough down at our friends working on a project to have, besides Congressman Bill Arakis, we had Chuck Hatcher, who's the director of Parks and Recs, and we had a nice conversation with him about where things are going in the future. And his heavy emphasis was that if you have a citizen support, and theirs is a flagship, they help other citizen supports. They're in the meetings that we go to with the state, they're always leading the charges. The judgment in the future on what is resourced, and many things will not be resourced that currently are with the trends that we've got, is how involved is your community. And this is, God gave us a beautiful thing, but it's been loved by the community and nurtured by the community. And that's an important thing that they look at, in continuation. And when you look at the connectivity to all the tourism in our county and especially in Crystal River, this is a magnet, it's a flagship, and it's a really great investment.
Everybody benefits from this park because the destination it is, and then that wealth gets spread into the community. Chuck also said that the major initiative for the state parks in the coming years is community outreach, more increasing the community outreach, like improving the CSO relationships with the community, because they're seeing what we see, a lack of volunteerism, just kind of a post-dramatic time in our life. Everyone kind of just melted away from the donations and community volunteerism, and they feel that a group like yours that does have an active, great CSO is reaching out to the community, getting people to participate for a wonderful thing, and then we all benefit from it, the whole county and the whole area. So I'm all for it.
I move we accept the grant.
Yeah, and then I'll second with one comment. I think this helps us with a little bit of the anti-tourism sentiment. I can't see too many folks getting off the plane from Germany going to Three Sisters with their fishing pole. I would expect that that's something that will be utilized a lot more by local residents than by tourists. So I think it helps mitigate some of that. That's a little bit outside of our purview, but it's a benefit to the local community, not just tourism.
Yeah, to Mike's point, we have a good relationship with the Citrus County Education Foundation. We do the hook, line, and sinker program now through the Friends Group. And the idea behind the fishing pier is to bring students to have their first experience fishing and to learn, the ins and outs of how you do this. And yeah, it's very much a local thing. That's not so much bringing tourists in.
I had the same thought when you were describing the fishing pier earlier, but you said it most amusingly. Per normal.
Take that.
Okay, we have a motion by Michael Mankey and a second by Mike Engels. Is there any further board discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you, board.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, so before we get to, you know what? This is before everything else. There you go. All right. So the second attachment you guys have in front of you, I did submit. First of all, thank you both for presenting today.
Thank you very much. Hope to see you at the fair.
Yes, sir. We'll be there. All right. You have a second attached, for your packet. Of course, my report. By the time we have to submit everything in so early, I'm not able to put my report in that soon. So, but it's also on the screen. Give you guys some updates here. We very, very, very busy here at the office, but in the good way. So a lot of exciting things. As far as announcements wise, we thank you to the Board of County Commissioners for understanding our desire to not only expand our operations, to grow and to serve, really honestly, not only the visitors coming into the market, but you'd be surprised how many residents come into our doors Monday through Friday and Saturdays, even when I'm there working sometimes. You get a lot of people who are living here, and they have their relatives coming in town, and nieces and nephews and grandkids and siblings and parents, and they're looking for things to do because they kind of forget, all the cool things you can do in our county, which is a cool reminder. And then you have you have a lot of realtors coming in as well, looking for information too, which is also a good thing. But we're excited that we're going to be expanding our hours to Saturdays. We're going to be a 6-day operation. We're really excited about that. I've noticed personally and witnessed, and I think we all witnessed in the office, that people are, tourism doesn't sleep, so we're going to do the Saturday thing. And I think it's something that's definitely needed because people are coming off the road and they are coming into our county looking for things to do and looking for information. So we'll be starting that in February. It'll coincide with our positions and everything. But right now we're seeing minimum 30, 35 people a day, over 50 a day at times. It's times where I want to say 4 or 5 of us are out there in the Welcome Center at the same time talking to 4 and 5 different groups of people, and it sounds like a swap meet. I mean, it's loud because there's not a lot of furniture in there yet, but it's very echoey. So let's just say we're doing a lot of good business, and thank God for our little buzzer tones in our office, because that's how we know when people are coming into the welcome center from a sensor standpoint. Staff update. Very excited to announce the promotions of Christina Lamb to my right. She was our former administrative assistant, and now she is our tourism research and development specialist. Promotion that was long overdue.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah, and she's been with us for over 4 years now, right? And she's, you guys know, she's very important to the organization and what we do. So we're excited to have that complete. That was effective January the 3rd. Along with that, Stephanie Earhart. I mean, this is an up-and-comer. She's been with us only since March of 25, and she is now our social media and content specialist. Excited to promote her. She really picked up the ball a lot when we're short staff, and just, I mean, I don't think she says no to anything. Any kind of project, she's like all in. And the cool thing is, when we are looking at almost 300,000 collective followers, for the most part, almost not quite there yet on all our socials, it is more than a one-person shop. Even though we all collectively do it, it needs to be a 2-person operation, maybe even 3, who knows, but definitely 2. And she and Nick, I think, are going to do a great job together. Nick has given me a list of more things that I need to buy, apparently. So along with that, I got to spend some more money, but we're excited. And then they're already working well together. Just daily content. I know you all follow us. If not, you better. But I think you have seen the positive change and the consistent, the wealth of just our social channels have just exploded because of what Nick has brought to the table and what Stephanie's doing too as well. So we're excited about that. Of course, with that, we have a couple of openings. We're going to be interviewing soon, actually, for our new administrative assistant and our new customer service rep / visitor service rep as well. So that'll give us a total of 8 people. Hence why we're able to really go into a 6-day operation. So we're excited about that. Along with those operations update, not so much operations, but we do have our TDC expiring terms. That those will be on the BOCC agenda for the 27th of January. So that will be for our one open seat, and then the other 3 are the lodging, correct? Yes.
Or which?
No, it's me, 2 lodging, and what was Mr. Shoemaker's.
Which is also lodging, right? Yeah.
So who is up? Mike?
Michael Mankey, Mike Ingalls, and Dr. Paresh Desai.
Okay.
Yep. Okay.
And I want to say you've done a really great job on increasing the professionalism of the staff, and I know you've done it by training and certification. And I hope you're going to get Stephanie into that pipeline, because she, as you said, she's
Of course.
come on strong and quickly, and is a real great add to your team.
Well, my motto is pretty easy. The staff, the team. I hate to even say staff. I like team better, but the team. And Christina can tell you, I know when I first did my first day, I told her and Kelly, who were the first 2 people I met at the time, they need to know what I know. So nothing changes. Pretty simple.
And you're in what, week 103?
I'm getting there. I don't know. I'll stop counting, right?
Oh, what's your anniversary next week?
February the 19th.
Oh, February 19th.
February the 19th.
I was thinking it was,
No, February the 19th. It's coming up. It's coming up. I'm expecting balloons. I mean, Nick, hence, all right. I want Allison from Main Street to come down with bells on and everything as well. All right, fair enough.
Well, the YMCA is hosting a huge party for you at Black Diamond that night.
Hey, there it is. Oh, right.
Our annual giving event.
Annual giving event. I love it. Okay, so just moving on, just from budget growth. I had some of this on last month as well. GovOS is going well. That's our short-term rental compliance. We're just still in the onboarding phase right now. We're working with the city of Inverness, their departments for just we getting that tax structure information. Same thing with Crystal River as well, and of course with the county and the clerk office, as well as Janice Warren's office as well. Just tons of information that we have to provide so we can make sure once it's launched, our notices begin to go out. So we're really excited about that. But it's just, it's a lot of work, behind the scenes until it gets up and running. But once it gets up and running, it'll be a well-oiled machine. But right now, we're still in our onboarding phase. So we hope to, have our, the program actually, in play by April, but again, we're just relying on, both cities and the county to get us that information because once we do that, we'll start sending those notices and, we should see a good uptick in our compliance and our collections, especially from the short-term rental standpoint. So we're excited about that.
Has anyone from the Chronicle interviewed you yet, or is there anything going in? Because the notification is going to be.
No, not yet. It's not. We're not there yet. For that. But I think in due time, I'm sure we'll be. So.
I will say I've had, while we're working on the caboose, we have a lot of people stop by, and a surprising number of them are Airbnbers.
Yeah.
And when I casually mention to them that we have a process that's about to be started to make sure they're licensed and they're in the business, not just collecting, and B, to track that, honest to God, they walk away and the conversation's over. So giving the folks that are not aware that they're not doing the right thing head start. Chronicle does a great job on that.
And for us, it's we're not, for us, it's not about us being a watchdog or security. It's just making sure everybody's playing on equal level playing field. And doing things the right way. I mean, it's actually really simple. We're not, as a group, we're not trying to go back 2 and 3 years. I mean, I'm sure we probably could, but it's just about we want to create good, valuable partners. And sustainable relationships because we do have Airbnb owners that again also come into the Welcome Center, and what do they need? Maps, books, guides, information, to increase their business and to make them look even better. So, and then essentially we just want the same,
So you did tell them that when they pay the fees that they have to, the taxes, that they're getting these maps for free.
Well, of course, we don't, we don't charge for anything, honestly. I mean, if anything, we give away money. But you're right. These are things that we provide for you that at no cost. And I can tell you right now, printing is not cheap, at all. That's why everybody's tries to do as much digital as they can. But it is cool if you've ever been in an Airbnb. It's cool to have information about the destination, maps and guides and books and restaurants and all those things to do, in your place because, that's, it's the local expert, in that case. So, but yeah, so that's, we're on that, the city of Inverness has been really cooperative. So we enjoy working with them, enjoy working with the city of Crystal River as well, even though the city has an ordinance, but they still have some things in that ordinance, like, the bed and breakfasts and things like that makes sense, working with them as well. And then, of course, the county, Janice Warren's office and the clerks as well. So everybody's been really cooperative. We're just trying to get everybody together at the same time. So let's just say we've had our fair share of Zoom calls. So and they're ongoing. So stay tuned for that. Also in the future, we are, I'm looking to take a further step in the tourism improvement district. That is going to be, I think, a game changer for our community. Really, it's all with the hotel lodging, and that's what it's going to be on. On that, but it's going to be an opportunity to where those fees, it's not a tax. Those fees are collected on the hotel side only, obviously for visitors. Where we can then, do special projects and we can designate those monies for something unique and special. That we can do. So that'd be in addition to what we're already doing.
What is the process and why is it? Can it be more midterm versus long term?
Yeah. So
I'm
when
really excited about.
Yeah,
that.
you're right. And so it's funny. When I say long term, I don't mean like 2 and 3 years. I mean like I'm trying to start the first process basically this fiscal year. You know, yeah. So that'll be. But when I say long term, is once you start the process, in regards to getting the first collections, you know, we might be talking about a year out.
Okay, that's what I
Yeah.
was going to ask. What's the best case scenario as we start collecting?
Yeah,
a year
yeah,
from now?
exactly. We're talking about a year out, you know, but as long as everything goes okay, you know. But you know, first things first is getting together our hotel owners, and getting them all in the same room and just talking about, you know, explaining to them how the program works, what it really means to them, the benefits, and go from there. So,
Is it campgrounds as well as hotels?
it is only hotel lodging.
Isn't that going to be mostly a meaning of one?
Well, I mean, at this rate, you know, let's just say a large percentage. Large percentage. Okay, moving on. Strategic plan. You know, I just always want to keep this in the foresight. Of course, our ecotourism advocacy. You know, we're really harping in on that with our new eco compliant partner program. The cool thing is we recently presented several of our partners. We have a current of 5 right now in the program. The cool thing about that is we've done our presentation tours, and some of you probably have seen some of those videos. I know Mr. Ingalls has been a witness to one of those presentations because he is one of the partners. We have a special manatee that rides around with us to present these certificates, and that's been a cool thing to do.
Drives.
You know, yeah.
Multifaceted, man.
Yes, yes. And if you haven't seen those videos, you guys need to check them out. You know, we have. I know Nick put
It's
some.
great.
Nick put some cool music, you know, to them and everything, and the manatee's doing her thing. You know, she has a little dance as well, I believe, in some of the videos. So, but anyway, that's
driving female manatee.
yeah, that's going off real well. We were excited about the program, and you know, there's some things we want to adjust to it and everything. So, but you know, I want to ensure that you know it's again, we're not the police, and we're just trying to do our part. And we also know it's kind of black and white, but we want to make sure there's just because you're not a part of the program doesn't mean you know you're an operator that's not doing the things the right way. So we want to make sure we acknowledge that we have a lot of great partners, even outside the program. But it's cool to have that program to understand the importance of doing right by the manatees, basically. So that's pretty cool. Workforce advocacy, of course, you know, we talked about it already. We're expanding the DCR team. You know, that just means more support for more local businesses. I know the team has been out and about. I mean, sometimes I feel like I'm the only one in the office, or, you know, let's just say we're out and about. And that's what I want to see. You know, Nick, Stephanie, even Christina, Terry's out right now in Tampa. You know, we're out and about, and everything we're doing is just to support the local businesses. And that's what we want to make sure we continue to do.
What are we doing to what is the bullet points of what are we doing to drive the people to use the eco compliant partners?
Yeah, good question. So
patronize them.
Yeah, so eventually there will be a landing page and everything for the eco compliant partners. Also a microsite as well. We're trying to work on. And then, you know, those listed in the Eco Compliant Partner Program are going to be the initial things listed over any of the other partners and everything. So also, obviously, the social channels and everything. So that's how we're promoting them. The microsite is going to be huge once we kind of get that developed. But initially, it's going to be the landing page.
What about a sign at the kayak launch point in Crystal River?
Kayak launch point?
Yeah. The county boat ramp, a big sign that says eco-compliant partners are, and please use care when you choose who you.
I don't know if we can do that. I have to check on it as far as it's putting a sign up. But however, the boats and the businesses have their signage on their boats now and on their entryway and their brick and mortar buildings.
Yeah. If
So
we that just came to mind. If you ever go to Ocala, there's signs on some of the corners that have farms listed, like little pieces of wood underneath. If we ever do a sign, that might be an elegant way to do it. That way you can add tour companies and take them away if they lose their credentials.
Something we can check into. I mean, Tom, for sure. I just don't know the legality of and then ordinances of a sign. And I don't, Chris, that might be something you can let us know on about what we can do in putting a sign up. So that'd be a little bit out of our purview as far as
And
that.
even in advertising and social marketing, swim with the manatees photo, and then at the bottom it says choose an eco-compliant and tour operator.
Even if it doesn't list the companies there, but you put it out there that there's a program,
Yeah.
Tour responsibly, use an eco-compliant
And
program.
why?
As opposed to saying, go to Paddle Tails, explore the Chris River.
Then you
water
get
sports,
people
et
that
cetera.
kind of ask questions about it and then kind of maybe explore
Right.
it.
Yeah, be a friend of the manatee. Support your
let's not use that
ecotourism
term.
guide.
Mm.
So, I mean, it definitely needs to be advertised. And I know you know that. I'm just talking out loud. It needs to be advertised. Otherwise, it doesn't exist.
I'm so excited about this program.
Yeah.
But, I don't know why. I just, being a creative, I get little thoughts float through my mind. I have no idea what to do with them yet, but it's sticky. So I'm just going to throw it out there. Earlier, you said something about money, that it costs a lot to print materials and you're giving things away. And for some reason, I thought, has anybody done Manatee Bucks for any sort of cross promotion of anything? And then I started thinking about challenge coins, because that's kind of one of those things that have moved from military to the general population. Might be interesting to do challenge coins that the eco-compliant partners can give to their tourists, because that's something that people take home and keep usually.
Yeah.
And they tell their friends that they did the eco-compliant program. I'm just sort of I'm just totally, this idea is not even half
Spitballing
baked.
it.
It's still raw. But I just wanted to throw it out there that people could start, if you see any thread there to pull.
And I didn't mean just Crystal River. Every boat ramp in our county that's under our TDC umbrella should have that sign there and explain what it is, so that people who get tours that don't have them ask, why aren't you? Or, just, I don't know, I'm just.
And it's very inexpensive for the county to produce. We have our own sign thing.
What the challenge coin obviously is, it's been a hobby of mine for a long time. Change it to being a support and sell them. That that if you came here and you like a community that is working on eco compliance, buying that coin for $5 will go into a fund, that'll help businesses be compliant.
Be a friend of the manatee. Be eco-compliant or something.
So this is just about water tours, right? Kayak tours and.
No, it's just about manatee swim tour companies.
But I'm saying, is there maybe a plan to expand it? I mean, I could see if you had other things that were not, it's not as concerning in Inverness, than it may be Homosassa, Crystal River, and that, to kind of expand it some, so that it's people that are doing, I don't know, birding tours or walking tours, a lot of other.
Well, some of the airboat companies, I think,
That would be a great one too. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if they're a problem. I know some of the individual airboaters are a problem for the environment.
Well, because that kind of leads me to my next question. So, how many partners or people do you have signed up so far?
5.
And how much pushback have you gotten from, say, some of the other ones?
Well, it's interesting you mentioned that. I don't really consider it pushback. I think the pushback would be the qualifications, right? What it takes to be a member of the Eco Compliant Partner Program. Things like SUPs, and the issue with, let's say, an SUP that you're not able to buy them. They're not giving those away. So if I'm a tour company and I'm doing things the right way, and but if I don't have technically an SUP because I don't own one and I can't get one, then what does that make me, You know,
Now, and I-
that's some of the feedback that we've getting, and it's understandable. You know, so
Well, and is there a compliance for that? Like if you don't have that SUP, is there somebody out there that's monitoring that? I mean, I've heard that maybe some companies are saying they're not asking me for it. I don't have it. I'm not using it. Forget it. I'm not gonna worry about it.
Well, I mean, may I clarify a little bit?
sure.
On the SUP, that's from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife
Right.
Service only. It is only required to operate commercial tours in Three Sisters and in the Keyhole at King Spring. You can operate anywhere else in the bay or the county for that
Without
matter
it. Okay.
without that. So it's only those two very distinct areas that are managed by U.S. Fish and Wildlife that require the SUP.
And Michael, can you talk into the mic too instead of to
I'm
Chris?
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He can hear you just talking to the mic. So for video purposes.
Oh, okay. I don't need to repeat it, do I?
No, just we need talking to the mic. That's all.
No.
Cause it's
All good. Sorry. So for an operator in Homosassa, they don't need an SUP, and it would be completely worthless because they don't operate anywhere near those two areas. It's only relevant for folks up in Crystal River.
So is that something that if they don't have to have it, they can still be involved in this in some way? If you don't have to have it, you don't have to have it. So, but if you don't have one, but you don't have to have one, can you still be in the program, or are they excluded from it? That's
yeah. So right
Does that
now,
make sense?
yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Right now, the SUPs are part of the requirement of the program.
Should be.
well, but I'm saying, should they be completely if you don't need it? So if I don't have to have it's
Yeah. Also,
workers,
it also
workers comp, right? Okay,
Yeah.
if I don't have the employees, I can have an exemption for that and still be able to do construction. But if I have employees, I have to have that workers comp. So I'm just saying, I mean, is it so that it can be expanded,
Right.
and so you've got maybe the some of the tour operators in Homosassa who can do, but still meet the other requirements, make it, I'm not trying to throw your
yeah, we're looking at other options. As far as the program, again, it's just recently launched. So far, so good. I think there's some things that we could, not necessarily change, but really update in how we do it. I am trying to schedule a meeting with Fish and Wildlife as well, because apparently they have some newer updates that they're trying to come out with. So they're asking us to do some holding patterns on that. So once I figure out some more information from them, to see what we can do and how we can include the SUPs, or because also in the SUPs, it's more than just the going into a refuge. It's also power poles. It's also things
Right.
like that as well.
Right.
So
and I think, I mean,
and
overall,
all those things are in the SUP. So that's why the SUP was
Well-
included, because everything was already in there.
Those things are not in the SUP.
Not in the SUP?
No.
They're only in the eco compliance.
Well,
program.
that's correct.
Right.
And without an SUP, the eco-compliance thing doesn't have any teeth. If you took it out of the eco-compliance and said you don't have to have an SUP, then why are you doing the eco-compliance
well, I'm saying maybe it's another program under that program. In other words, if you don't have to have it, so you don't qualify, because I know there's also like sticks and bricks, right? Don't you have to have an actual
Brick and mortar.
brick and mortar?
Yes.
Sorry, sticks and brick, right? Brick and mortar. So we're not
like
doing the
stick and
Three Little Pigs anymore.
Yeah.
But have to have the brick and mortar. So I think it's a good thing, because I mean, I think this is a great idea. And when it was first talked about, and I talked to some of the other tour operators, the ones that just come here and basically get to do all the things that the people that are paying
Right.
all the fees for are getting to do, and kind of flying under the wire. So I mean, maybe it would be a something underneath that. Again, so if I'm doing, I don't know, some sort of a birding tour, obviously if I don't need an SUP and I don't need a power pole, I'm just saying maybe it's another program for other eco, because I think it's great, because this is the kind of thing that did the whole SeaWorld Blackfish, thing in, because people started looking at it going, I'm not going to spend my money on this because they don't care about the environment.
Right.
So I mean, I think it's great.
No, I think you're on. I think listen, that's something we've already talked about as far as to seeing how we can. I don't want to. Let's just call it expand the program, but just really, I think the program will definitely evolve. Again, we're just trying to figure out what that looks like. And I think it just needs some more information from Fish and Wildlife. Just a deeper education on what they're trying to do, because I think they're trying to roll out some things as well. At least that's what they're telling me, or that's what we're hearing. So it'd be good to see that. And then we'll just kind of take it from there. But, I think it's just one of those things. Anytime you get into the whole government side of things, what happens is right now it's so black and white, right? And then there's no gray area right now is what you're referring to. In that gray area, what happens is I do believe, you in that gray area, you have a lot of amazing companies that are kind of like, hey, maybe we're kind of left out, but it doesn't make us a bad company either. And that's what I want to avoid. And I think we will, and I think we're all saying the same thing.
I think what you're talking about, like, the parks, you pack it in, pack it out, don't trash the place.
So it's probably just an expansion of another sort of, I don't know, one of your badges.
Just be eco-compliant or whatever.
I think it's
how
great.
about
I'm glad it started.
the tour operators that aren't located in the area? Is this program contacting them to suggest that they join? We're not
contacting them.
Like
It's
people that are coming in, bringing the boats in, and the people from Orlando. I understand there's 2 groups operating now. They just get a bunch of people in Orlando, bring the boat and the tour, and they drop the boat in and they do their own tour.
Yeah, but I will say this: it's not a TDC issue. Like, that's an issue beyond our purview. Like, we can't control a company coming in or a individual coming in.
But you can affect it by having
the sticker,
meaningful program, and them not having the sticker.
Just as long as they know that when they drop their boat in Crystal River or Citrus County, Homosassa, that just so you know, everybody else has this eco-compliance sticker on their boat to make everybody know that they're concerned about the manatees and the environment. I don't know how I mean, obviously we don't police who tours in the bay, right?
No, I think the big thing will be the pressure, though, probably, hopefully, from
If
the
they
public.
see the identity.
Once they know that it's
Yeah.
out there, the more advertising we do about it, the more people know that they'll start asking about it. Then they have to explain, well, no, I don't really have that.
Right.
Or, oh, I don't need that, or whatever. And then I think it'll push people to the ones that are actually, involved in this.
That was one of the original things that we wanted to do, was to keep the folks bringing a boat and tours from other places in, because they don't know the river well. They end up just mucking things up for the manatees and so forth. So isn't that why we have the bricks and mortar component?
Well, that's why we have the bricks. Yeah, of course.
So unless they're going to open up a shop here, then they would never qualify.
And also the
Okay.
the brick and mortar component, what made that essential was because we wanted to make sure that they were not just showing the video when they register, for example. Oh, just show it online when you're at home. We wanted to make sure they were showing it in a more formal process. In order to really do that, it's more of a company with a brick and mortar,
great.
So that was a purpose, one of the main purposes of a brick and mortar, because, you're showing the Manatee Manners video along with anything else. So people have that education before they get into the boat, while they're in their, the suits or whatnot and everything. I mean, something as small as having a diver in the water, so it's several other things that, we wanted to have, because, everything is geared toward, the manatees. I think a program like this, what happens is it's not overnight. It just takes time. And I think what happens is eventually visitors, residents, you'll then start to go with those companies, who are responsible, who are responsible business owners and who are doing it the right way. And that just takes time, word of mouth, branding, all that kind of stuff, so, and that's what we're trying to do.
Mike, the Fish and Wildlife volunteers who are at Three Sisters, and they're corralling people away from, from going into the restricted areas and getting too close. do they file like reports or anything that lets us know that it's overwhelming and we've got 3 people here and we can't control it? Or
Yeah, I'm not out there. Marty is. I don't know if we can ask him to come to the microphone to address that, if that's appropriate or not. Or
no, I was just wondering. I mean, we're talking about eco compliance, and then you go out there and you see what's going on, like I did on Saturday, and it's just like, whoa, you
Well,
know.
I was actually about to ask a very related question. So, I was on interviewed by Spectrum. Their In
yeah.
Focus thing. It's going to be out, I think, this Sunday. And is that correct? Yeah. The only question that caught me off guard, where I kind of was taken aback, and I did a little follow-up answer the next time we came on, was what happens if someone harasses a manatee and on a tour? And I said, well, I guess they'd yank him out of the water. Like I thought about, Mike just plucking him right out. But then I circled back and I said, I wasn't sure if, I took that to mean you were talking about a guest. What if it's a tour company that is not that is not following the rules that they said they would follow? And I said, certainly we will, we would drum them out of the program. I can't remember what my answer was, but it was something like that. But yeah, enforcement is a thing. And I'm sorry, I wasn't speaking into the mic.
No, you
So they're volunteers; they can't enforce anything.
So even with that, with the program,
I'm fine with Marty coming up if
even with the program is one thing, but like when someone is like, I don't want to say breaking the law, but if someone's doing something, then that's when we have to rely on FWC and that's
I did say
that's the part.
FWC patrols.
Yeah,
I was not wrong on that. FWC is out there.
No, I don't think you're. I mean, it's honestly that's the problem because there's so many jurisdictions, and I think Michael would agree with this. So that's what we are not. And that's where it's like we can only do so much. So we're trying to do our part, but what we're kind of getting into is policing and those types of things. And unfortunately, we don't have that's just not what we're here to do. We can do our part as far as education and branding, and we're going to do that. That's why we made the program. But as far as, ramifications, the only thing we can do is we can pull a badge and not support them and stuff like that. But as far as anything outside of that, that's going to be more of a state and federal.
When you have the 5 companies that are involved in it now, I'm sure that they are going to do. Yeah, they're going to police some of that stuff too.
And they all, and you know what? In
They're
this
the ones that
program,
started this.
just for the record, and this is a kudos to them. The responsible tour operators and companies, they've always policed themselves and others. Yeah. They're not going to let anything. If they see something wrong, they're going to call it out and they're going to report it, and they always have. So I would never take that away from them because this program is not doing that. This is just an addition to everything else. So these companies have always, whether you're in the program or not, the good companies are always going to report something when they see something bad, and they always have. And that's one of the great things we have about our communities and not only them, but the citizens as well who are on the waterways, because I see the videos and things of that nature. So that's a good thing. So we're definitely doing that. It's just, it comes down to the part where we're missing is, the jurisdiction part and about who can do what and what can be done. Can you pull a captain's license away? Can you fine them? And that's the part where, it's just not a lot of bang for your buck. Michael would agree with that.
There's not enough FWC officers out there.
No.
Yeah. This is segueing. I would say in the 12 years I've been here, I have never seen FWC out there doing manatee stuff.
You only see them in scalloping.
On the federal side, FWS, the only person is Ryan, and he's shared across the district, not even a complex.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got more than 5 refuges. I don't know how many it is. And that's if they don't pull them to go work border, support or something. Mm-hmm. And you've got one water-based deputy from Citrus County Sheriff. And then you take into effect that they can all only enforce different aspects of it. There's not 100% overlap in what they can do. So there's not much from a legal standpoint happening out there. I would also say there's not much happening out there that is illegal. You know, ethical, moral, you know, that starts getting a whole lot more gray. And I think that's where this is. Is there anything illegal about not having a power pole? No.
But it's the right thing to do
Yes.
because
Right.
it's, we don't want things ripping out our grass because that's what the manatees feed on. That's why we have it,
Right.
as
You know,
an
and
appliance.
some of the people in the community hate it, but law enforcement has point blank said at the SUP holder meeting, it is not illegal to touch a manatee. It is illegal to alter their behavior. So just because somebody's touching a manatee doesn't mean they're breaking the law.
This program is passive. I mean, I'm not saying
Yeah.
that
Of course it is, yeah.
We're saying, hey, if you got this badge, we love you. But the active part of it is, I got we got off the pit.
Sorry.
And listen, at the end, I think programs like this, not to pick it apart or anything like that, this program is meant to be an addition to help to provide advocacy. That's what this is about.
Education.
Right. It provides talking points. Somebody's coming on your boat and they see it. It gives you the opportunity to say
course.
what's involved in the program, and we're trying to do things the right way. And a little bit on the advertising side of it, hey, we adhere to these principles and guidelines, voluntarily. So there's lots of other programs that are similar elsewhere. There's Blue Star in the Keys. There's a Green Fins one for scuba, et cetera, et cetera. They provide talking points, and it's basically an external recognition that you're trying to do things the right way. And that's it. There's no, there's not meant to be any enforcement. It's basically meant to be a pat on the back from a different entity saying you're making an effort and would like to encourage other people to make that same effort.
What does SUP stand for?
Oh, special use permit.
Not stand up.
Yeah.
Yeah, not
the first
paddle
3
boards.
minutes, I'm like, paddle boards? Why are we going off on paddle boards?
Yeah.
Can I ask, I'm going to ask, just, I don't know if I'm going to muddy the waters, no pun intended. So I just was Googling, and in the state of Florida, with the exception of Citrus County, it is illegal to get in the water with a manatee.
Is that fact?
Well, that's what Google said.
we're
Take that for
grandfathered in.
whatever. Now, my question is, again, it's with your statement, Michael, which is true, that the SUPs are being are affiliated with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife. What authority allowed Citrus County, because it does say in Google that you're allowed to swim with the manatees in Citrus County. What authority said that was okay?
It wasn't okay, but FWC basically grandfathered us into an economic support of our county. It's one of the big economic drivers, and they grandfathered us into
Granted.
our previous use.
So was there a
when the-
document that says that?
I've seen something, but I don't think there's an action. I think
And if
it's
there's a document that
it's
says
a
that and
handshake deal.
FWC issued it, then they should be responsible for the administration and of that.
Well, I think if you read, there was an article in the Chronicle when the Three Sisters was entered
I'm all for it.
into a
Don't get me
joint
wrong. I like the
agreement
idea we
with
do it. I just we
FWC.
clear up who's on first, what's on second, and so on down the line.
I think that was explained when when FWC got involved in Three Sisters.
Florida FWC.
Yes, there was an explanation of how we are able to do this.
But and
I
on the
think
other hand,
it's
sometimes
an
you-
unwritten agreement.
you don't want to
Unwritten.
ask a question just because you had a favorable answer before.
Yeah. Yeah, let's
Sorry,
not poke that bear.
And it's in
Well,
no small part a recognition that this is a community that's always actively protected that activity and has good outfitters that step in even to the other outfitters and say, hey, don't make me put a bullhorn to your ear and say, don't do that.
And we have manatee rehab. I mean, there were a lot of things that went into the decision for the FWC to kind of look.
Okay.
Just ask it.
It's 10:10.
Yeah, a couple of rabbit holes there. Sorry.
Put on some bigger fins and just muddied the water even more. So
Thanks.
It's 10:10. Can you stick the landing by 11? Alice, now that we've derailed you?
That's my goal. Guys, good.
Yep.
All right. Sorry about that.
Let's see. Hold on. Sorry, I lost my place here. Okay. All right. So yeah, no, all good points. I'll tie it up. All good points. I will check on a few things. Signage. Again, I got some. I definitely want to meet with on the federal side some things, and I'll just keep you guys updated on what that looks like and everything. But again, I think we all agree it's a good thing. It's just how can we make it even better? And there's nothing wrong with that, having that discussion. All right. Selling Citrus County and education. This is for January through March. As you see, we're kind of all over the place. I want to say we're going to be. We have several travel adventure shows, media admissions, RV show, which is Terry is at now. Kelly be at tomorrow, teaming up with her. That's in Tampa. It's a big show for us. International Trade Show. That's in Berlin, so you can see Germany to the right of that map and that little manatee over there. Legislation Days, which of course is in Tallahassee. I'm sure Commissioner Davis will be there as well.
Actually, I physically cannot go.
Okay.
I just, it's
Understand.
It's too
Understand.
much. It was very painful the last 2 years, and I just can't imagine getting to do it. So I need to get with you after this meeting because you're going to be taking my role at Visit Florida.
No pressure at all. And Nick is excited, so me and Nick will be getting together as well. So Nick will be representing the office. I will be in Irving at the time with Mr. Mike Ingalls and Tom.
What's the date?
Oh, Tom. The date of Legislation Days is the 20th through the 22nd. But the cool thing about this year, which I'm glad they did, they combined it with Tourism Days too. So before, like last year, it was like 10 days apart. And I was like, wait a minute, this is too much. So we'll be a part of Legislation Days and Tourism Days. For us, it's more definitely heavy on the Tourism Days for sure. So we'll have that in our talking points together. So that'll be in Tallahassee. Board Symposium. So anyway, we're between for the next 3 months. We're in Texas. We're in Florida. We're in New York. We're in D.C. We're in Chicago. We're all over between whether it's trade shows, conventions, board symposiums. We're definitely a busy office, and I'm excited that we're going to be expanding our team because we need the bodies at this point. So any questions, we can talk about that, offline if you guys have any questions. Michael and Tom, I will get with you guys today on some travel information that I'll need from you. Next slide, please. Oh, cool. Let's see. This is I'm excited about. I'm giddy about this because we have a lot of surprises. January the 28th, we were going to have our magazine release party sponsored by Partners in Tourism. The Citrus County Chamber of Commerce is going to also have a sponsor with us as well. So thank you to CEO Josh Wooten and his staff. So we couldn't do this without them. But our RSVP deadline is the 21st. So please get your RSVPs into myself, Kelly, or the info email address. But we're going to host it at our Welcome Center. Everything's going to be at our Welcome Center that evening. We're really excited. Again, we have a lot of surprises for you guys, but I think you guys are all going to be happy. I think the county is going to be excited what we've done and everything, and then what we're going to go back to in regards to our new Discover magazine. So please have that on your calendars and bring your plus one significant other or something like that you guys may have. Would love to see you all in your fancy attire. Let's just say there's a little. I will be probably dressed up a little bit, and it's optional. But if you want to kind of get a little snazzy, I won't be mad at you. So looking forward to that. The staff is also putting in a lot of work for that event to kick off. I think you guys know our Partners in Tourism events are pretty fun, and this is something with a twist. So look forward to seeing you guys there on the 28th, and we'll send out reminders as well. So we'll make sure you have reminders. But I already know I'm going to see every single one of you all there. I'm not even worried about it. I know Luann's coming. I know Michael's coming. I know Max is coming, and I know Chris is going to come too. He's going to probably bring his wife.
I'll be there.
I know. Okay, cool, awesome. Mr. Ingalls, Mr. Davis. So I'm looking forward to it. All right. So next slide, please. Any questions about that?
My tuxedo doesn't fit anymore, so.
Okay. All right. Well, tuxedo shirts also work.
Or manatee costumes.
Or manatee costumes, exactly. See, this is why she's here. This is why Allison is here, okay? She's gonna probably wear a pink tuxedo.
No, it's gonna be sparkly.
Love it, love it, love it, love it. So we're excited about that. So looking forward to that. The staff has worked really hard to get this produced, this production. I'm gonna say production. So no pressure. To moving on to some, as we kind of, talk about some more insights. This is really cool. We talk about our visitors, our local visitor, and our residents. And this is just some more insight on what's spending in our destination. Of course, all visitors account for 23%. And by the way, this is for December of 25. All visitors accounted for 23% of the spend. 77%, of course, was residents. 15 of that 23% was visitors outside of 50 miles, which is, of course, what we like to see. But we have to pay respect to our local visitors as well. And the next one you'll see for restaurants, it's pretty cool as well. All of restaurants, and this is countywide, 42% of all spend comes from visitors. 25% from visitors from outside of 50 miles. 17% is our local visitors. Local visitors, just FYI, are considered within a 50-mile radius, but technically outside the county, okay? All right, so that's another good slide. And also retail. I think our retailers will be happy to see this as well. Not as much as the restaurants, but 25% of all retail spend comes from a visitor. So another good way of showing that we are adding to the ad valorem in a positive way. The more money that we can get people to spend here, in addition, we only get the 5% of a lodging situation, but everything else goes to the county. And I think that's what the county likes to see, what they want to hear, because I know there's always, shortfalls in budgets. And I want to say we're doing the best we can to make sure we get our enhancements done here from a county level. And so that's exciting to see some of those percentages and numbers. My last slide for this particular one just talks about some of our local visitors by origin, by county. And this is some of the things that we're going to be doing program-wise. We're very careful because, when we get to the local visitor, not as many of them, stay from a lodging standpoint, but there are some that do. But if you notice, Marion and Hernando, Marion and Hernando are accounting for pretty much 60% of our local visitor by origin county, and that's a pretty huge number. So, you got Pasco, you got Sumter. When you count in Sumter, Marion, then you kind of look into some of those villages, communities, and stuff like that. So, let's just say we're paying attention to that. We're starting to see an uptick in that. We're really excited about that. We'll be doing some more programming in those areas as much as we can, as far as it makes sense. But again, we want to make sure that, heads in beds. That's why we are funded the way we're funded. But it's good to see some of those insights. Moving on. Let me see here. Okay. The next, I'm not going to go over too much of this right here because it's already in your packets. But we have August and September for tourism development tax, the next two slides. October is not in there. We had some issues with the department, the DOR. So what we'll do is I'll email you guys out the October one. But if you take the handout that we have provided you all right here, yes. The good news is that from October of last year to this year, we have starting off the year the right way, 18% in the black, and that's the way we want to do it. So that's a good thing. As we get through the STR reports, I don't know if Michael, if you want to add on any of this stuff, but again, it's already in your packet. There's a lot of red out there, not just for us, but for a lot of the state of Florida. But I think for us, I'm trying to figure out a way because a lot of our hotels do not report in STR, and it kind of jades our numbers a little bit. I know Michael knows this. It's been a problem, but it's something that they have to become a member of. So we're working on that to see if I can get the rest of our hotels to provide input for our STR models. But the good thing is, from a collection standpoint, again, for the first month of our fiscal year, we are up 18%. We're starting to see positive changes, I believe. I I've been talking to a lot of not only hotels but tour operators and things of that nature. It's been busy. It's been a busy month for December, especially now we're talking about October, but just coming into manatee season, I think the weather has definitely helped us. I'm seeing a lot of activity. The team is seeing a lot of activity, which is a good thing, especially coming off of what I call a flat summer. I think with the Manatee Festival, and I think it's going to be really one of the better Manatee Festivals in a long time. I hate to say it because of the temperatures. Because with Three Sisters being free, I think people are going to see a plethora, hundreds of manatees, especially at Three Sisters Springs for sure. And I think that's going to be good for business. Go up to the eco-compliant program as well. That slide. Again, this stuff is all in your packet. We can add out, but I'm going to email you guys several new documents as well, especially with the October numbers. Those are always like 3 months behind. This is the badge for those who don't forget, not to go back to the, that, but this is what the badge looks like. I know, again, Michael's here. He has, the badges on all his boats, I think at this point, right, Michael?
Yes.
No, Ingalls, not Mankey.
Well, they're there.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Oh,
yes,
yeah, that's
on
true.
both.
Okay, you're right. So we have that. Other than
Speaking to the mic.
speaking to the mic, right? Speaking to the mic, literally, right? Pun intended. Touche, my friend. Touche. Any questions on that? I'm going to email you guys some numbers for our October revenue. Mankey, what you got? Good.
Just there's an interesting observation. If you look at the October current month STAR report, which is in your packet,
Yep.
it shows we had a 27% decrease in RevPAR, and yet we're showing on your collection a $31,000 increase in tax collection, which the only supposition I would have is that I think 2/3 of our tax collection is done by short-term housing and RV parks that are not reported into the STAR report.
Exactly.
So that's an interesting observation. And again, once we get our own collections going, we
There you
can
go.
then better understand.
I'm so glad you said that. It's funny, when
You didn't prep me to do this.
No. And see, in the numbers, what it is Michael is like me. It's like you want to explain why a number looks the way it looks, but it's like we're missing some data here only because of the way we collect our monies, and then the reporting. All the hotels are not reporting. So when you look at 2/3, when it's like, hey man, we're down, but then we're up, showing on the one end, it gets a little confusing. So the good thing is, at the end of the day, the collections, the actual the number is that's what matters. But, you still want to see. I don't believe our numbers are as bad as this from an STR, from a hotel lodging standpoint. But, it is kind of interesting to see, once we get the additional collections from a short-term rental RV, how much it actually will go up from that, though.
The other thing to consider with the STAR flip is how many rooms we had rented last year that were artificially high based upon the displacement of hurricane folks, that then those don't come anymore. And it does, and Sherry and I talked a little about this, it probably reflects the mood of the hotel resort industry. That is predicting for the first time in ever a 2.9% decrease in RevPAR for 26.
Okay.
So it sort of tells that, but just thank God we have the support of I keep pointing to Mike Shoemaker, who's no longer with us, to the RV world is probably in short-term rentals is helping. So.
100% they are. 100%. Agree. All right. Well, I'm going to throw this microphone to Nick Popham.
Got it. Hey. Morning. So moving on to the social media stuff, Facebook and Instagram continue to see rising follower counts. With Facebook, we have over 210,000 followers. Again, this is going back to our numbers in October. Currently, they've gone up from this number as well. YouTube, we're at 800 subscribers, which is pretty cool because we just launched the YouTube channel just a couple of months ago. So really exciting to see some of those videos that we're putting together. Yeah, please do.
I have multiple YouTube accounts, so maybe I can.
Hey, the more the merrier. I know that my wife has two, and she's subscribed to both. It was nice. If you could go to the next slide for me. Doing a follower comparison, we're still at one of the top follower counts in comparison to some of the other destinations that are relative to our size. From this snapshot, 41.8 followers or 41.8K followers for us at Discover Crystal River, close with Visit Amelia Island and New Smyrna Beach. They're around the same follower count as us. When you're looking at our insights, you see Facebook, I want to give attention to the view count from October to November dropped a little bit. And the reason behind that is because in October, we had one post that, for lack of a better term, went semi-viral. People love Monkey Island. So as a result, our numbers were at about 1.7 million views. In November, they were around 986,000. That's kind of more of the relative baseline, or seeing positive in terms of views, but not necessarily those 2 million views because of one viral clip. So just keeping in mind, that's why there's such a substantial drop there. It's just views, some go viral, some are just around. We're still getting a lot of traction, just not that viral traction for that month.
Nick, we dropped, though, to 4th place.
We dropped to 4th place. No, so we were around that same level with Amelia Island, just kind of whiff-waffling back and forth. I don't believe these were in like numerical order when I got here. This was kind of where it was at.
Tied for the bronze.
Tied for bronze. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, they're normally, I believe, in numerical order. It was a big doggone deal when we hit 3rd place.
Sure.
So, I mean,
And even since
it was to staff.
Yeah, and even since then, I think I know. But since this is posted to you guys 3 weeks ago, we were over 42,000.
Yeah, we're at 42.2 now. So we're seeing a drastic rise, and with the influencers that are coming into our community and posting stuff, we're getting tons of followers. Just looking today, I was looking at Instagram just earlier this morning, and we had like 30, 40 additional followers just in the last 24 hours. So we're continuing to see a lot more folks check out our channels, and with the addition of Steph helping me with the content creation, we're putting a lot more content out there, and consistency is always key. So
Wonderful.
That's been
and I'll add this too. It's funny. So we were like number 2 at one point, and guys, if you noticed, we were over New Smyrna Beach, and I noticed it was like an 8,000, 10,000 gain in their followers. I'm like, how is that possible? And it was like in a month. I called them. What'd you guys do? And I figured, I knew they did, but I just wanted to get an idea. And kudos to them. They had a sweepstake. So when you do a sweepstake, you like, tag somebody and follow, So they did a sweepstake. I forgot what they gave away, and we're going to be looking into some other. And we just actually fulfilled one of our sweepstakes recently with a couple that came to town. But we're going to be doing some of those things too, and that's going to bump us up some more as well too.
Absolutely. And looking at places like New Smyrna Beach too, while they might have a few hundred more followers than we do, if you look at their actual page, the interactions and the actual, I guess, conversation that's happening on their channel is a lot less in the last few posts than what we see on ours. We did a user-generated content picture of the 500 manatees that were right outside Three Sisters Springs last week, and we have over 3,000 likes on Instagram, over I think it's like 17,000 likes on Facebook right now. So that one's gone really viral, whereas like their content right now is more in the ballpark of like 100 or 15 or 50, like they're fine, but like they're not as much engagement as I would like to see when we're posting some of this content. So that's something that I'm really trying to drive, because hopefully that engagement then drives more followers, because the algorithm loves when people are actually engaging in the content rather than just seeing it because they're following it. If you could go to the next slide for me. This is reiterating the launch of our YouTube channel. We've been doing several videos so far. Started with Paddles Outdoor Rentals, then did Trek Bike Inverness. We've spent time with Mike over at Crystal River Water Sports, was at the Cove and did a piece talking about that and all the awesome things over there. So looking forward to continuing doing that. We'll be having a new video coming out today with Get Up and Go Kayaking on the Chassahowitzka. So that was a lot of fun. And it's been really fun seeing just the increase in followers and engagement that we're seeing at the YouTube channel as well, because not only are we posting content there, but then we're posting short form content on our YouTube Shorts, as well as Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, kind of tying everything together and getting more people over to this content as well to see the longer form picture. So kind of covering all our bases.
Is that a pre-existing heavily trending hashtag, or is that one?
No, this is something that we're starting because I wanted to do something that was original to our location and kind of playing on the title of Discover Crystal River. So I thought it would be kind of a neat idea to be like, hey, let's start this hashtag, let's discover. So let's go discover something. Let's go do something that highlights our community, whether it be going to the park or going and spending time with one of our partners, just highlighting the community in a kind of clever and creative way. And so that was just kind of my idea to be like, hey, why don't we create this hashtag, let's discover. So that was kind of the idea behind that.
It's cool on all his videos when he ends them. I mean, if you guys have not seen some of the YouTube videos he's done, they're pretty cool.
It's a lot of fun. We've been doing a good job.
Are you going to send that out to the partners saying, hey, leverage Let's Discover and get the rest of us to echo that?
We sent out, when we launched the YouTube channel, we sent...
No, I meant just as a hashtag.
just the hashtag? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we could certainly...
To echo it on our social and help amplify it, perhaps?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. No, that'd be great. That's something I want to add on to our Instagram bio and all that type of stuff too. So certainly that's something we can reach out to the partners. And I've been mentioning every time I go out and talk with folks like, hey, we've started this video series called Let's Discover. Love to have you guys involved in it. And that way we're creating the content, creating those relationships or adding on to the relationship. And then people are understanding, oh, that series, that one on YouTube. I understand what you're talking about there. So that's a great idea though. I like that. I'm doing Kelly's part, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to move on to the next slide with our fam tours, Kelly has been so busy. I'm just constantly impressed with how hard she works. It's amazing. So with all these different groups that are coming in, different influencers, and I'm probably going to butcher this, so I apologize. Destinos Imperdíveis, maybe, from Brazil. They have a collective around 2 to 3 million followers, and they came into our community and just absolutely loved it. Post some amazing content, a blog, swimming with the manatees, enjoying some of our restaurants. They came back in early November. Odi Ruiz from Mexico was posting some great stuff, as well as Leah Rumack from Canada. She's been writing an article talking about swimming with the manatees and spending time in Citrus County. Paige Bryant from, I believe, Orlando. She just left a couple of days ago and has already started posting some great content. But the thing that we're gearing up for is next week with the big Manatee Media Fam Tour that we're going to be having that Kelly's been working hard to coordinate. And I'm forgetting on how many media, I believe it's 8 or 9, something like that.
Big group.
A big group that we're going to be just kind of showcasing the entirety of our county to. And it's really exciting, some of the stuff that they're posting, because again, as I mentioned earlier, when you have those large followings like from those influencers that create a lot of engagement. I mean, just one of those Destinos posts that we saw when they came by in November, I mean, we got several hundred people who followed our page, checking it out. And again, as I mentioned in our last TDC meeting, Brazil's one of the top places now if people want to come to Crystal River and want to come to Citrus County to see what our county's all about. So pretty neat seeing some of the things that they're posting and just the collaboration that we're having with them.
I feel like the Brazilians, their favorite two things, clearly the manatees, but it's the Withlacoochee Trail. Like those two things, they're like, it's almost like they get the best of both worlds. But they love the trail and they love the manatees. It's like those are their two favorite things to do.
Yeah, it's amazing. And they have
34 degrees on Sunday. That should really pack the house with manatees. So it should be good.
Yeah.
Forgot to mention this too. I just got my certification to be a commercial drone pilot, which is really exciting. So we're going to be able to do a lot of aerial content, video, pictures, things like that. And Steph is also training to get that certification as well. So there will be 2 of us in the office that will be able to operate a drone properly and do it for commercial purposes. So we'll be able to add even more content from the air, not only for partners, but just for like Three Sister Springs. Like, when I saw the temperature for Friday, like my first thought was, I'm so psyched to get the drone out there and get those aerial shots of the manatees around there. It's just going to be really neat. So that's another exciting thing that we're doing in terms of content. For the next slide, I think this is with Hayworth and talking about impressions from some of the articles that we've done with them. And that's been very solid, over 53,000, nearly 54,000 impressions with some of the articles we've done. And that includes groups like Florida Trend and Tourism Marketing Today on the next slide, if you could for me. They've been highlighting some of the stuff that we've been doing. Tourism Marketing Today, I think there was one edition that came out like a month or two ago where we were in 3 different pictures. They were only talking about, I think, us in one of them, but we're so heavily involved in the whole experience that, like, even when they're talking about something else, Discover Crystal River's there. So I thought that was pretty neat.
Nice.
On to the next slide. With those articles, which includes working with news groups like Bay News 9 and WFLA, ABC, all those different groups, our impressions are well over 3.4 million. Same with the view count. Engagements is low, but what I've learned through talking with our PR agency, as well as folks who are kind of coordinating these article views and things like that, even if you're getting a small engagement, that's pretty substantial, because how often are we looking through our phones and just kind of scrolling past without actually clicking on a link or anything like that? So seeing any positive engagement is always a good sign. So that's good to see. On the next slide, this is kind of just another look at some of the things that we've been seeing. A AAA article that 2.2 million impressions, which was great. And then Calvin Lewis did a couple of stories with us recently, most recently talking about the start of manatee season with Captain Tracy down in Homosassa, and did a story over at the Ellie Schiller Homosassa Springs Wildlife State Park, which was really neat. So we're seeing a lot of conversation being had there, and a lot of folks coming our way because they're seeing us out in some of these news articles.
And real quick too, on all the news coverage that we're getting, you all have probably noticed I try to send you guys links to, if I get an advance notice, I'll try to send it where you guys can watch it live, but if worst case scenario, I always send the links to you all to watch it. And the cool thing is Nick is now putting those links embedded into our YouTube channel. So really what it does is, and not only do I send them to TDC, but I send them to BOCC. Commissioner Davis knows this, some other stakeholders and stuff like that. And then they embed them into our YouTube channel. So that just allows us, for you guys to kind of get used to going back to those YouTube channels for information, so it's designed to do that way.
So it stays evergreen too, that people are able to go to our YouTube channel and see them. We're able to add on to it with a colorful cover photo or things like that. It keeps people engaged. More saturated some of those pictures, the better. People love those bright colors. So yeah, that's it. That's all we got. All got. I got at least.
Are we done?
Well, yeah. other business,
Yeah, open to the public.
Yeah, open to.
Yeah, I'm aware. I just meant
Yes, but yes,
staff
the team
is
is
done.
that. Yes, the team is officially finished.
Thank you both. Appreciate it.
Very good.
Does anybody else have anything?
I have one discussion that I would like to have. Back in March of 23, Swift Mud stepped in and closed one of our grass ramps. It was the Camp Izzard landing ramp. And I've been running a series of briefings and meeting with staff in county. And I think we are at the point where the last step is a legal review of changing the name of Spruce Boat Ramp. And back 3 years ago when I started, I had several people who had committed to come up with money for a historic marker that you have to go through a process, and you can only buy one brand that the state allows, and it's like $3,000, $3,500, and an interpretive sign. I at our military ball, I took out an ad in the thing to try to get military folks to start contributing, and which I can't do until the boat ramp is changed. But one of the questions that came up is, why doesn't the county do historic signs like that? And I said, I don't know. Tradition is we run around and get someone to raise it, but signage, particularly historical markings, how is that? Where would that stand compared to tourism funds?
Yeah. Sure.
Come on up.
Okay. Citrus County is a CLG. And with Citrus County being a CLG, Citrus County can apply to the state to get those markers fully funded. It's part of the matching grants program through the historical resources, which is at the state level underneath the Secretary of State. Main Street and CLGs are the only two groups that can do that. So you just need to work with somebody with like the Historical Resource Board, or Eric Landon is actually the head of your CLG. So
We have a
What's a CLT? Yeah.
certified local government. It is a special definition that is given to cities
ASAP.
or other municipalities, could be countywide, showing that they're actively working to protect historical resources within an area. So it's also one of those things I'm trying to work with getting in Crystal River. So I've been to trainings on it.
It's good to know because one of the stops, I've had 5 stops where I had a briefing and presented it on the historical significance of the lieutenant and of the battle. And the second place that it went from tourism board, it went to economic development. That was still when Frank was there. And then after a while, it got passed to Parks and Recs for the boat ramp. So
No, it should honestly go underneath Eric Landon, since he is your CLG head. Now, what he does with it from there is another question.
would it go through our grant writing department?
Probably.
Yeah. And by the way, it was a running joke my first year in office. I'm like, okay, why do we not have a flashcard deck that is handed out on acronyms?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I thought everybody knew what CLG was, but I had another meeting with someone and they looked at me like I was dumb because they didn't know what CLG was. And I'm like, how are you in this position, but you don't know what it is?
That one was new for me.
Yeah.
Today.
You have a CLG. Citrus County is one. That's why you're required to have this historic resource advisory.
And the other SUP was new to me too.
I will try to get with him before, because I think on the 27th is when that may make it to the agenda.
So Max, what I'll do is I'll just send an email to Eric and just copy you on it, and that way you can,
Okay, well, I'd like him to see the 25 slide PowerPoint that was to his predecessor and was for other agencies in the county government as we keep going round and round.
Not a problem.
And grant cycle opens April 1st. It's open from April 1st to June 1st.
That is
One
sweet.
of those
Thank you
grants.
so much. I owe you a beverage.
And if you need the website to go to find those grants, let me know. I can get it to you.
You do best. Did you want to speak it open to the public? Because we're going to that next.
I don't really have anything else to say.
Okay.
Unless you ask me questions, I kind of.
Before we open up into public, I should acknowledge, since Leslie's back there, we did, BLCC did approve the $500,000 for I think phase 2 of really the completion of Riverwalk. So we're excited for the city to get that project going on. And that grant, for just a reminder, that was approved definitely before I got here, 23, 22, Christina. Maybe before, it's been a long time. So they're just finally, ready to use the funds for that approval grant. I don't know who was all on the board at the time, but I'm sure, Michael, you probably were on here at the time, and Commissioner Davis. But anyway, that's what that was for. So, Leslie, unless you have any updates for that you want to. Okay, awesome. Well, yeah, of course. No, thank you guys. We're looking forward to the new Riverwalk. I know it's something that our community has been waiting on. So so we're excited to not be a hurdle in that process anymore. So you guys got the money, so we're excited to see you guys finish it up.
They've been driving stakes in the ground and got the engineering and all that going. So it's moving.
Good to hear. Sorry about that.
All good.
That's all.
Would you like to come up?
Yes. I'm Marty Johnson. I'm a volunteer at Three Sisters, probably one of 130 of us that are out there. You're welcome to fly a drone. You can't land or take off from Three Sisters. And if you're close, I'm going to watch you to make sure it stays high enough so you don't annoy the manatees. I have been always looking, Michael, find out why people are allowed to swim commercially. I think commercially is the word. You could swim with manatees anywhere in the state, as an individual, but only commercially here. I'd love to find out why that is. I've never seen a document. I haven't looked all over.
Don't poke the bear, Marty. Don't poke the bear.
You're probably right. No, I don't. I'm just interested in that. Volunteers have no legal authority. You're absolutely right. What we do if somebody violates, we see a captain or something or a boat out there, we do report it to Fish and Wildlife Service. They have jurisdiction over the refuge. We have, as I said, the captains are our best advocates. We have people in the water on the boardwalk. We hear the captains and the guides in the water all the time telling people. And there's very little problems with people in the water, except sometimes they get excited. They want to do something with the manatees. The biggest issue is anybody can come out there, and if you've ever been out there Christmas or New Year's week, it's Grand Central Station. And sadly, we are loving our manatees to death, and that's somewhere down the line is going to be an issue. But this eco tourism program, wonderful. I look forward to seeing the signs on the boats because we get people come and say, how can I swim with the manatees? We as FWS keeps a list, Fish and Wildlife Service keeps a list of all the captains, all the boat companies that have the SUP, special use permits. But if we see those signs in the boat, that's going to be another way to let people know when they ask what that program is. Again, it would be great to get Fish and Wildlife Service to be aware of what this program is so they can educate the volunteers so we can educate the people who come to our boardwalk.
I just thought about something. What if we were able to provide shirts with the badge and the volunteer on the back, and then you might get questions on, well, what does that badge mean or something, or maybe on a sleeve or something. I don't know if it's from a logo stand. I don't know if you guys are able to do that, but it's an idea as well from a awareness standpoint.
There's just a lot of opportunities out there for this to grow. But
Well, signage at Three Sisters for people that are walking around on the boardwalk, if there's any way we can do signage about the program.
And even perhaps at the city visitor center, saying if you want to swim with manatees, look at this here's a link for the partners.
Look for that logo.
I actually have an email out to Eric, what's her name? Emily Young, about
she's
T-shirts for the volunteers.
And what is the cost of challenge coins in bulk per piece?
I have
$2.50.
Yeah, I was going to say
$2.50.
that depends on how complex they are, but $2.50 to $5 for that a heavy one with a lot on it.
Because I do think that would be a good souvenir, and it's something that the 5 companies could buy in bulk and possibly give away as one of their, tour package things, because it's a really good souvenir.
They last a long time.
Yeah, they do. You can't really bear to throw them away. I have every single one I've been given.
RMOs.
It's odd. I don't know why.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Marty. Appreciate that. All right. If there's nothing further from anyone, we are adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.